I'm going to be talking about a word, about a phrase that Dr. Maria Montessori came up with to help describe, to help us understand what a child's mind is like in its early years. The word and phrase that she came up with is called absorbent mind. Now, Dr. Maria Montessori believed that a child possessed a different form of intelligence than us adults have. She states in her book, Absorbent Mind, that the child has a different relation to his environment than ours. The child absorbs it. The things he sees are not just remembered. They form part of his soul. He incarnates in himself all in the world about him that his eyes see and his ears hear. Because of Dr. Maria's strong belief in early learning, she uses the word absorbent mind to help describe how much of a child's learning is unconscious and without effort in their early years of life. And when she uses the word absorbent mind, they're not realizing they're doing it. They're taking everything in, everything they see, everything they hear, and it forms into a basis for the rest of their life. And when children are allowed to grow and are put in a safe and healthy environment that is sensitive to their needs and is guided by adults that understand this process, the learning process of a child can be very rewarding. And Dr. Maria Montessori understood this and she saw this. In order for a child to have this substantial growth, the right atmosphere is one of the main things that Dr. Maria Montessori talks about in her book about this absorbent mind. So interactions that a child has throughout the day, they should be positive. They should have respect for their peers, teachers, and for the environment. All of that should be taught and learned. The atmosphere should also be emotionally secure. There needs to be consistency. That means the child should have a schedule. They should start to be able to memorize the schedule. So when they come into the day, they know what's expected of them and they know what and where they're supposed to be and when. There needs to be this consistency, and that also goes into freedom. So a child should have the freedom to choose what interests them, what they feel like they want to do that day. And in the end, they also should feel proud of their accomplishments and to be able to be in an environment where they can be praised and celebrated and not be afraid to try new things. Children within them have this desire to learn and will naturally be drawn towards different subjects and different things at different times of their life. And as teachers, it is up to us to help nurture and teach and foster this growth as they're exploring and learning and gravitating towards these new subjects. So a common term that is in Montessori is that helps us nurture and helps us teach children as they are maybe exploring and wanting to explore these new subjects in a deeper form is called following the child. And Dr. Maria Montessori talks about that when a child is from preschool through kindergarten, they will be able to accomplish everything that we need them to if we just follow them. They may spend a whole month studying and in the science classroom, and that's okay. Why? Because right now that's where their mind is, that's where their interest is, and the rest is going to come. However, this absorbent mind, Dr. Maria Montessori talks about, it will not last forever. The human brain is most elastic in its early years of childhood. And if a child is deprived at this stage, at this young stage, from this information, from this freedom, from this independence, that they are able to receive this information, they will most likely experience intellectual difficulties later on in their life. One Bible verse that is a foundation of one of my core teaching beliefs, as well as the school, is Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. This belief of teaching early on to develop long-lasting behavior, long-lasting skills, long-lasting patterns that will carry out a lifetime is also a philosophy of Montessori. Dr. Maria Montessori says, "We serve the future by protecting the present." And all this formative stages, everything that a child environment that they need in these early years is going to be absorbed. It's going to impact their future. Everything that they take in, everything that they learn from when they're 0 to 6 is going to lay a foundation for the rest of their life. And with this being said, a child's environment at a young age will also impact their emotional and academic success. So Maria Montessori, she understood this. She understood that a child's mind is so absorbent, they're going to take in everything around them. And it's going to impact their future. If they're in an environment that's not healthy, it's going to affect them emotionally. If they're in an environment that's not allowing them to move forward in their academics, move forward in exploring the world, they're going to be hindered because they're going to miss out on that whole opportunity of exploration. So what is our job as teachers? What is our job as educators? What is our job as parents? The greatest thing we can do for the absorbent mind is to model by example, with empathy, with love, with joy, with kindness, with patience. These are all things that we as teachers and parents need to be showing to our kids and to our students. Dr. Maria Montessori shares and believes that when we model by example, it is something the kids are going to pick up on. Why? Because they have an absorbent mind. And by this example of us showing all these things, the kindness, the joy, the patience, the love, all of those things, the child will see. Children will see. And they are not just things they remember, but instead it becomes a part of who they are. It forms a part into their soul, a basis, a root that digs down deep into who they are. And so this modeling that us as teachers and parents do of kindness, joy, patience, of love, of empathy, it starts to become who the child is. And later on, that ends up being who they are. So this absorbent mind that a child has, it isn't something to be thought about lightly. The first 6 years of a child's life are the most important. It will set the tone for the rest of their life. And Dr. Maria Montessori understood this. That's why she started and saw a need for early education. And us as teachers, us as parents, it's our job to be that example, to be that role model to our students, to our children, that will hopefully become who we are, will become who they are as well.